What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another new podcast. Happy to have you here with me. Got another new video, so come on in, sit down, relax, and we're going to get right into this thing. But before I do, take a second to like the video and go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. This way you don't miss out on any new videos that I release, and we'll get right into this one.
Bragging about struggling is even more dumb.
I completely agree with this creator, and I'm going to share with you from my personal experience. I come from a long line of matriarchs. All the women in my family on both sides are providers, and this is a very common thing for Black women, especially dark-skinned women. And
Okay, just in case you missed it, the message that she's saying is that there's no men in her family. There's only women, and they're doing it by themselves, which means there are probably a lot of single moms to the left, to the right, and all around her family. But let's keep going. Let's see what else she has to say.
I see what it does to you at the end of your life. You become bitter, you become haggard, and you become, well, you die early.
Now, keep in mind that she's getting that example from somewhere, and it's from the women in her family. So that's what she thinks of them. She thinks of these women that because they're providing for the family and they don't have a man to do it, that they're bitter, they're haggard, and they die early. So we're going to keep seeing what is she going to do about it.
I personally want to break this generational curse, and I know it's a curse for sure because I see it, what it does to you. So here are 3 ways I decided I'm going to break the curse when I go on dates with high-value men. Number 1, if he calls me strong, I would gently correct him and say, I actually don't see myself as strong. I actually think I have a lot of weaknesses like everyone else. And, you know, I have a lot of like tiring days. I wouldn't call myself strong. AKA, I would never get on the struggle bus with you.
How does that even equate? If I think that you're a strong woman, then I'm probably in my mind thinking there's less of a chance that we're going to struggle because you and me together is going to be a strong unit. Not, oh, well, I can take from you. I don't know. Maybe that's the examples that she's seen in her life, but that's not what most men are thinking. Most men have to be providers in a relationship. So we have to bring something to the table. And yes, it might be nice if we see our woman is strong, but I don't see how correcting us and telling us that you're weak is doing anything for you, and it's getting you any closer to breaking that generational curse. I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something, but let's see what else you got to say.
Number 2, if he calls me queen often, I would gently correct him and say, I don't see myself as a queen. I'm more like a princess. You know why? Because princesses are spoiled and pampered. Queens operate from their masculine energy.
That makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever. Isn't a queen the number 1 woman in a country? Isn't she supposed to define essence and beauty and grace, all these things that women should aspire to, right? So how is calling yourself a princess any better? If anything, it's worse. Princesses come before the queen, right? You're the princess first, right? Means you're next in line waiting, and you become the queen. So I don't understand how you correcting him in that way makes any sense. And it sounds like she's just being disagreeable to be disagreeable. And that's not the kind of woman that you can build anything with. Because if you're going this way, she's always going to end up going that way. Just because, not even for a reason, just because. And there's nothing that you can do with that. There's no going forward. So it's better to just leave these kind of women alone. And that's probably what the men that have dealt with the women in her family have thought in the past. You know, they dealt with them, and maybe they found this same disagreeable energy and said, I'm skating off. I'm out of there. So, you know, I don't think she's going to be breaking any curses with this approach. Let's keep going.
And number 3, if he calls me hardworking, I would simply say, I actually don't think I have the strongest work ethic. I like to take a lot of breaks and take a lot of vacations. AKA, you cannot depend on my income ever. Now,
again with the disagreeableness. You know, I called you a hardworking woman. Obviously that means that if I call you that, that means I see something in you. You're out here, you're handling yourself, you're taking care of business. And I'm just giving you some kind words to motivate you to say, hey, I see you, keep going. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to depend on your income. I mean, most men understand that women aren't going to share their money with us because most women don't want to pay the significant amount of the bills. A lot of women don't even want to go 50-50 on the bills. A lot of women call that having a roommate. So we understand that we can't depend on your income. If you share it, that's nice. It's definitely appreciated, but we don't go into relationships thinking that way because we understand that role of provider has been put upon us. But what a lot of men are asking themselves nowadays is, okay, for that role of provider, what am I getting in return? Because she has yet to say one thing that she's going to do to keep a man, to do her part. Okay, he's the provider. What are you? What are you offering? Right? What other duties that help a relationship and a household run are you going to partake in? Are you going to be doing the cooking? Are you going to be doing the cleaning? Right? Are you going to be, what role are you going to have? And why should a man want to settle down with you so that you can break this curse, this generational cycle that you've seen the women in your family make in the past? Right? Don't you want to avoid that bitter, haggard, dying early characteristics that you've seen them do? And this isn't gonna help you out because no real man is gonna want to stand around and deal with somebody that's always gonna be on the opposite side of him. And just because, not even because you have a strong stance and you have a good opinion and you've come to a conclusion. It seems like it's just because, like, I'm giving you a compliment and you're telling me basically to think less of you. So how is that gonna grow? How are we going to build a family and a life off of that? We can't, because we're always going to be going in two different directions. All right, let's finish this video out. See what else.
This does not mean a woman should not be powerful and have her own job and her own career. It just simply means that in your relationship, if you want, like myself, you do not want to give the guy any idea that you want to be a provider. You want to remain in your feminine energy. I just don't want to be a provider in my relationship. I will literally rather die alone. It would never happen. Bye, guys. Oh, one more thing. It's not natural for women to be providers. It goes against everything we are as humans. A man will resent you if you help him, and you will resent him for helping him. You see how that works?
No, I don't see how that works at all. So what are we doing together if we can't help each other? Right? If I'm going to resent you for helping me, then why should I be with you? That means that I'm only looking to take advantage of you and you're only looking to take advantage of me. That's probably why there are only women in her family. This is probably why they're all providers, because nobody's sticking around for this. This sounds crazy to me. And I feel like a lot of the men out here are dealing with this, seeing this same kind of woman pop up over and over that has no intent on helping you, just wants to take, says that she's going to resent you if she has to help you in any way. She says you can't depend on her income ever. So throughout a relationship, throughout a marriage where there's going to be plenty of ups and downs, she's never going to use her resources to help in the relationship. And that's not the kind of woman that you want to be around. You need somebody that's going to help you. Then what's the point of you being there if you're not going to help at all? If I can't depend on you for anything, even in rough times, emergency situations, you're basically telling me I'm on my own. So you just become a liability to me and you're never going to be an asset. And that's why the women in your family are alone. But that's going to end the video, guys. I think we got all we can out of this one. So before I go, take a second, subscribe to the channel, like the video. And if you have anything to say, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. And until another time, I'll see you guys later.